You're listening to Synyster Syn. Right now we're going to interview Sydoney A.A, founder of United Zombies of America, UZA LLC, and Synyster Syn, as well as founder of UZA's MysCreation's haunted attraction. We had some super fans send some amazing interview questions. We're going to ask them, she's going to answer them. So here we go. Sid, are you ready? I hope you are. Here's our interview with Sid. Enjoy.
Hey y'all, first of all, I want to thank you for some of the questions that I got. I'm going to answer them the best I can and hope that you enjoy it and it helps you. So the first question as asked is, who is your hero? So I have many people that I look up to and I would call a hero because they've either done stuff that I appreciate or they are an outstanding human being. One of them being my parents. I look at my parents as a hero. Some of my mentors, like Rowdy Duncan, Jim Rubin, Sydney Neal, Jess Anchorage, just to name a couple. I look at them as heroes because they've made a big impact in others' lives or in my life. So that's who I would say is a hero. Also, all of our veterans and soldiers, as well as our fire and police department. Anybody who pretty much does that kind of a job. Because without them, we'd be in trouble. If you could go anywhere, where would it be? That's a hard one because there's lots of places that I would like to go. Let me think. I love going to St. Louis and going to Transworld, which is a haunted house convention. That's one of my favorite places to be. And I love going through the darkness and Lemp Brewery tours. They do that around the same time when they do the haunted house convention. Yeah, that's one of my favorite places to be. Someday I want to check out Netherworld. That's an awesome haunt. There's so many different haunted attractions I'd love to see. What is my biggest fear? I don't like the dentist. There's a whole story behind it. I don't want to go into it, but I don't like them. I'd also say maybe being alone, and I don't mean like no one's with you. I mean like actually being totally isolated alone. I'm still kind of afraid of haunts and startle scares and different things like that. I know it's ironic, but it's the truth. What is your favorite family vacation? I've gone to Arkansas a couple of times for cousins' graduations. Those are pretty fun. Again, I would say probably going to Transworld with my father. I've gone at least 2 years now. I would love to go every year. It's pretty pricey, but it's kind of like my Disneyland. I love Transworld. It's if you don't know what it is, look up Transworld, haunted attraction convention. It's amazing and I love it. It's so much fun. What would you change about yourself if you could? Probably nothing. I mean, I have dyslexia and I have different disabilities and stuff, but I don't know if I would change them because they've made me who I am. And I guess I could say I wish that I could have stayed in cross country and basketball, but I had health problems and I couldn't do it. So I mean, I miss doing that. I was really good at running and I liked running, but it just wasn't I got health problems and then I wasn't able to really do it anymore. So I miss that. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't say I would change anything because that's who I am and I'm supposed to be who I am. So I don't think I would really change a whole lot. What really makes me angry? liars. I don't like people who lie or manipulate people. I really don't like bullies, people who are mean to others just because they can, or it makes them feel better in some way. That really makes me angry. I don't like injustice or people being treated wrongly or abused and stuff. I don't like animal abuse. That stuff that really gets me angry. What motivates me to work hard? I've had to work hard most of my life because, again, I had a learning disability as a kid. So just to get good grades or to do good, I've had to work 3 to 4 times as hard or harder than, somebody that doesn't have that disability. I've had to work pretty hard to get to where I was. In high school, I had a really, really hard time. And what motivated me was mainly to prove people wrong, not for them, but just to prove that I could do things that people told me I couldn't do. It was a good feeling, or it is a good feeling still, to be able to do things that people said that I couldn't, or I would never amount to anything, and be able to do what I'm doing now. I mean, it's amazing, and people learning disabilities and stuff have it hard, and sometimes they don't do as good because of all the things that are counting against us. And I would say really what motivates me is my overall dream and goal is to have a year-round haunted attraction that's an actual building and be able to do all kinds of different events. And that's what really motivates me and keeps me going. That's why I'm in school. I mean, that's what's really motivating me. But it's also, I would say, probably my religion as well, and what I believe. A lot of stuff motivates me, but that's just some of. What is my favorite thing about my career? Well, I mean, it's a career, but right now it's not really making any money, which is quite sad, but I know eventually it will. So it's just being persistent and keep on doing it, because eventually the outcome's going to be good, and you have to work really hard for anything that you want to get or have. My favorite thing about what I'm going into haunted houses and stuff is the impact that it can make on an individual as well as a community, a family, stuff like that, because a haunted house changed and saved my life, that I want to be able to do that and be able to make a difference for others. It was a safe haven, if you could say, and I want to be able to give that back, and I want my haunt to be like a family, as well as somewhere where you can go and you're safe, but as well as you get to learn and grow and be with people who are positive. And because there's so much negativity and hate out in the world, that it's nice to have something positive, something that you can look forward to, something that gives you hope. And that's what I want. I don't just want my haunted house to be a moneymaker, because there's a lot of haunts in Arizona and that's all they care about is how much they make. They don't necessarily care about the people or what they do. I care actually about the people who I work with, as well as the people who are coming through. I want to make a positive impact on all and do the best I can to be a great attraction and to entertain and make people feel good, even if it's for just a couple of minutes. We need positivity out in the world because there's so much negative, and right now with all that's going on, there's so much hope that's lost, and hopelessness, depression. And if my haunted attraction could just bring smiles or make people kind of forget about their troubles, makes what I do worth doing. And there's sometimes, it feels hopeless, or you feel like what you're doing is just like a waste of time, but then you'll see her do something, and you'll see the impact on one person, and you know what you're doing is the right thing. And that's the moments I live for, is those little tiny blemishes of something beautiful or seeing somebody happy. That's my favorite part of what I do. What is the biggest complaint about my job? Like I said, right now, we're not making a whole lot because you have to put a whole lot out before you see a return. That kind of is a bummer, and it can feel like an endless pit, but I know deep down in my heart that it's not. And another thing that, I mean, it's hard work. A lot of people think that it's just a lot of fun and stuff. It's a lot of hard work, especially since right now we're just a traveling haunt. We have to set up 4 to 3 tents, and you know, they're heavy. We have to put them up, then you have to decorate them, then you have to put out your blackout curtains. I mean, it's a lot of steps, it's a lot of hard work. And then also we have 24 security, which usually it's me and some other people, but I'll stay up and watch the tents and make sure that no one, you know, tries to come in and do anything, because we have 24-hour security. We have cameras as well as people that will take people down if they're trying to do something that's bad. So I would say it's hard. I wouldn't say I disliked it or it's a complaint, but it's a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. But again, the end result is awesome, because even after you're sweating and putting up all this stuff or whatever, but to hear people going through and like, wow, that was really cool, or you even get to walk through and be like, wow, this was in my head. You know, it was a drawn plan, and now it's come to life. It's one of the coolest feelings, and I don't know, I mean, it's just pretty cool to be able to dream or think something and actually see it come to play. It's awesome. What is my proudest accomplishment? That's a good question. There's a lot. Graduating high school was unbearably hard, and the fact that I even did it was amazing, but I would say hands down the one thing that changed my life and made the biggest impact on me was winning actress of the whole entire season. Of the very first year I worked at a haunted house, I won the actress of the whole entire thing, and I will never forget that, because I was in such shock that I even won it. I was sitting there clapping like, oh my gosh, that person's amazing, because when they announced it, they would tell a little bit about the person before they said the name, and they're like, oh, this person, you know, passed out tons of flyers and did this and that. I was like, oh, I did that too. Wow, I'm glad that there's more than one person that did, you know, that. And then they, you know, went to more description. I was like, wow, whoever did that was awesome, because that's like what I did. I didn't even be able to put 2 and 2 together and see that they were actually talking about me. So then when they announced who got it and they said my name, I was like clapping and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And, like, I didn't even hear my name. And it wasn't until one of the other actresses looked at me and she said, Sydoney, it's you won, you need to go up there. And the feelings like that I had, I can't even explain. It was just like I was appreciated, I was wanted, and I actually did really good at something, especially after in high school hearing how, you know, I sucked at everything and how I was picked on and stuff. But to be able to feel wanted or appreciated was amazing. And I mean, my family is amazing. My mom and dad love me and they tell me all the time, but it's different when a stranger tells you, or when somebody who you would say has power, authority, says, hey, you know, you did a great job and we noticed that. So that's one of my biggest accomplishments, was that it was pretty cool that happened. What is one of my child's proudest accomplishments? As a kid? I don't know. That's a good question. As a kid, I won a lot of dance contests as a kid. I mean, that was pretty cool. I don't know, I was a good kid, and I wouldn't say that necessarily. I mean, I started actually changing and getting better as a young adult. I mean, I would say even when I won the Best Actress, I would say I was still a kid, so I would still go with that. What is your favorite book to read? I'm not a big reader because like I said earlier, I do have dyslexia, which makes it really hard and difficult to read. And I actually have two forms of dyslexia. I have letters and numbers, so I'll even see numbers when I read, which I know don't go there. So reading for me is a difficult task. It's really hard for me. So I don't necessarily read. The only thing that I do like reading about is, again, haunted attractions. I love reading Haunt World magazine or anything that does with the haunt industry. I love watching documentaries, but that is something I'll read. I'll read Haunt World from cover to back because that's what I love reading about. And even though it's hard, I will read it or stop and read it again because I want to know what the information is. And Haunt World's an outstanding company, and if you don't know what it is, check it out. It's where you can find almost any haunted house in America, and they write articles and stuff. So it's good for haunted house lovers and haunted house enthusiasts as well as haunted house owners. It's a great website. I recommend it to anybody who likes, the horror and macabre and haunted houses. Haunt World's your place to go. What makes me laugh the most? Well, I have a very dark and a very big sense of humor. So I laugh at all kinds of things. I don't know. I think it's my family probably that would make me laugh the most when we get together and we talk and stuff. I mean, because I have a very sarcastic family. So I would say that is one thing that probably makes me laugh the most. But it is also really cool. And the stories you get to tell when you work at a haunted house and you do a really good scare. I mean, the stories that I have, I could go on and on for hours, but some of them made me laugh really, really hard. Some of the stuff that's happened. What is the last movie I went to and what did I think? I don't even know if I can answer that because I don't necessarily go to movies, and with what's going on right now with COVID, the movies are closed. So how about this? I'll tell you what one of my favorite movies is instead, and I'll tell you why. I love The Greatest Showman. And why is because the first time I saw it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because it made me feel exactly how I felt in high school and how I feel with this haunt. I mean, I know that they have a circus, and I feel like almost the same with the haunted attraction, business as with P.T. Barnum when he was doing the circus. So I connected a lot to that, and it sends a good message. It's an awesome movie. The music's fantastic, and the sets and the costumes. Oh my god, I love The Greatest Showman. It's one of my favorite movies. I could watch it over and over. What did I want to be when I was little? So what I wanted to be when I was little, I actually wanted to be a singer in a band. I loved singing. I came from a singing family. I wouldn't say we all sing and whatever professionally, but we have singers in our family, and my grandmother was very musical, and I loved performing and I've always loved making people feel good or have a good time or be entertained, even as a kid. So when I was little, I was obsessed with like Justin Timberlake and Sync, A-Teens. There's so many different bands back then, and boy groups and stuff, and me and my cousin would mimic them and reenact them and stuff, the Spice Girls. And I loved singing and performing, and that's what I wanted to do as like a small kid. And I wouldn't say it necessarily changed like my career choice. I still want to be an entertainer and stuff. It's just not singing necessarily. So I would say my dream as a kid is still kind of what I want to be, some kind of form of entertainer. So I would say that's what I wanted to be as a kid, was be able to perform and sing and make people happy. What is my favorite game or sport to watch? I'm not really big into sports. I mean, I don't mind watching basketball or even hockey a little bit. Those are kind of fun to watch, but I'm not a big sports person. and I'm not very athletic, so I don't really like playing sports. I'm more of a theater kid than an athlete. Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car? That is a very weird question. Probably ride a bike. Or drive a car. But it has to be a hearse. That's what I would say. What song would you sing at a karaoke night? Ooh, that's probably something from The Greatest Showman. Probably. Did I have a nickname as a kid? What was it? People called me Sid, or my family called me Donnie. That's my nicknames. I didn't have anything extremely outstanding or anything. What are your hobbies? I like to take photos and video. I do enjoy making videos, and I like photography. I also, like I said, I do like singing. I like watching TV. Probably my favorite hobby is anything to do with haunts, whether it's researching and watching documentaries or thinking about it. List 2 pet peeves I have. I don't like smoking because I'm allergic, and I don't like the smell. And I hate people who eat with their mouth open and make really loud oral sounds. I don't like oral sounds. Just never have. I just don't like it. And again, pet peeves, I'd say probably manipulation and lying from a person. I don't like that. I've ran into that a lot in my life, and I really don't like it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years? Hopefully owning and operating a year-round attraction, which isn't just haunted houses, but doing all kinds of different things, and just having fun, entertaining, and giving people a place to belong to. What's my favorite animal and why? Ooh, I like dogs a lot. I also like rats, because they're like mini dogs. I used to have them. I had some really cute rats. I like dogs because they're loyal, they're always there for you, and they're great pets. Why the haunted house industry? Like I said before, it's because I fell in love with it kind of by accident, and it saved my life and gave me a place to belong to. So that I fell in love with it, and I want to do it and change people's lives like it did mine. So that's why I would do that. What's your favorite haunt and why? That's so hard. Ooh. Out of ones that I've been to, that's so hard. I would say probably Lemp Brewery and then the Darkness. Why? Because they're awesome. Lemp Brewery by itself is just, the building has history, and even how you get to the haunt there, you have to go down a spiral staircase. That right there, it sets the whole mood for the whole entire haunt. It's just, that location is awesome. And if you don't know about Lemp Brewery or the Lemp family, look it up. And there's even the Lemp Mansion, which is, they have tunnels that are connected underground from the brewery to the mansion. But if you don't know who the Lemps are, look it up. It's quite interesting, the history and the stories behind the locations. It's really cool. And it's a big location. It's all underground. And it's cool in St. Louis, so as you're going down the spiral staircase, it's getting cooler and cooler, and you can feel your hair standing up in the back of your neck. And I mean, I bet there's real ghosts. I mean, I know there is real ghosts there because you can feel their presence even when no one's there. Because we did a walkthrough with no actors, and then we did a walkthrough with actors, and the no actors, it's eerie by itself. It's a great location. It's a great haunt. And the Darkness would be my second because it's just That haunt is amazing. And like I said, it's out of haunts I've been to. I haven't been to a whole bunch, but those two stand out. The Darkness, if you don't know what that is either, the Darkness in St. Louis is just outstanding. And Larry, one of the guys, pretty much he owns Haunt World and all that, he is an awesome person, and I pattern myself and look up to him because he does great work and he's just amazing. And the Darkness is just, it's so cool. I love it. I'm gonna answer a couple more and then we're going to stop. What do you collect? Do you collect anything? Well, whenever I go somewhere or something that really impacts me, I'll usually get like a souvenir or something. But oh, you know what? I collect music. I have tons and tons and tons of music. My family, my mom and dad has collected music ever since I was little, and I just kind of do it too. But I like CDs. I like to actually own and have a CD, because I always have that, like, what if you know, all the computers break down or whatever, I'll still have. And plus, if you own the CD, you have it, you can always put it on your computer. If your computer, you know, dies or whatever, you can always have your music. So I like having the album cover and getting to hold it, have something tangible in my hands. So I collect music. I mean, I have gotten more MP3s and stuff over the years because some stuff is just going that way now. But I love CDs. I've been collecting them since I was a kid, so that's something that I collect. Do you like roller coasters or do you hate them? I'm an adrenaline junkie. I like roller coasters, or really odd or scary rides. I do like them. It's a lot of fun, and I don't know, I've always liked that kind of stuff. Let's see. How did you get started in the haunted attraction industry? So, like I said, when I was young and in high school, I was about 15. We happened to find The Haunting, which is the very first haunted house I worked at. We stumbled upon it kind of by mistake, and my mom kind of pushed me into doing it because she knew I was sad and depressed, and my school wasn't, I wouldn't say good, but it wasn't good for me. And she saw that there was auditions for a haunt, and she's like, you know what, you should try it. And I was like, but I was also afraid of them. I had a bad experience as a kid, and she kind of pushed me into doing it. And I'm glad she did, because I fell in absolutely love with it. The owner of The Haunting and his family really showed love and support, and actually made me feel like I had a purpose and a reason to exist. And then also the casting director and costume lady as well were really positive, and they made a very big impact on my life. And haunted, I never, like, in a million years would have told you that this is something that I would want to go into, but I love it with all of my heart and soul. It's completely changed my life, and I am forever grateful to all those people who cared for me and showed me that there was something worth living for, not just existing, you know, and not having a purpose or doing something. Like, I actually had a reason and a purpose, and I was good at something. Like, I picked it up fast, and I was good at it, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it, and just all the positive, you know, remarks and the feelings, and being so young and kind of almost being like a supervisor at a young age. You know, I watched the graveyard. It was my area, and I was only 15, and it was my home. And the people that I was surrounded with, most haunted house people are just really good people. They're nice, they're caring, they're just a little out there and a little weird. like I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's just, that's why. So, whew, one more question, and I'm gonna wrap it up. This is a good question. What's your favorite holiday and why? Halloween. Because you get to dress up, be someone different. You get to go to your community and get to see the different decorations, and I've always been drawn to Halloween and the decorations. As a kid, my dad used to decorate our trailer. We used to live in a trailer park in Las Cruces, and we would always have dummies in a graveyard, and we would put, and I knew when that year was, I knew when it was coming because my mom would start decorating inside the house and playing Halloween music, which I would call as a kid. And you knew it was coming, and it was just that excitement, knowing that, oh, that holiday's coming, because I like to dress up. I dressed up even when it wasn't Halloween, and when it wasn't cool back in the 90s. And it's just so cool that it's a holiday that you get to dress up. I wouldn't say necessarily be someone else, because you're always you. You're just pretending or portraying to be somebody else, and you get to kind of just let go of life and have fun, do something crazy, go and look at the decorations, or go through a haunted attraction, or hang out with your friends. It's just Halloween. I had friends that loved the candy and they were into the candy, but I was never 100% into the candy. That was just an add-on. So, thank you for these awesome questions that everybody sent in, and I hope it got to help you know me a little bit more. And I appreciate all the questions, and I love talking about haunted houses. I could do it all day, every day. Lighting and sound and costumes and makeup. Again, I'm going to college for theater, so it's just another form of theater. It's just, I would say it's a better version because you actually get to walk through and it's live. So, thank you for taking the time to listening to this interview or sending questions. I appreciate everybody and all of your amazing questions. Stay safe. Know that we care and we love y'all. And, we're really hoping this year we're going to get to open, and we hope that we'll get to see some smiling, happy faces that need some escapism from this pandemic. And I just want y'all to know I appreciate you. And if it wasn't for our fans and for the people who like what we do, we wouldn't do it. I mean, we would, but it just isn't the same when there's no one there. So, thank you. And have a blessed day. Sydoney Banks, out.